Who wants to see what I bought on board the Disney Wish? I am Ree, welcome back to my channel, Mummy of Four Does Disney, and today I am sharing with you everything we bought on our 4-night cruise on board the Disney Wish. I've already shared in a separate video everything we bought in Walt Disney World in the first 7-night portion of our Florida trip, and this is everything we bought on the ship, plus some freebies we got our hands on too. I'm going to start out with something I'm quite excited by, and that is this very lovely Castaway Key bag. I always love a Disney reusable bag, and this is Castaway Key specific. So I just got the one of these. Maybe I should have got more, but I kind of love it. These things are brilliant for shopping, even in the UK, sending things into school with your kids, storing things, moving things around the house. I love them. I use the Disney reusable bags for everything. The next thing we're going to just draw attention to very quickly is my new Spirit jersey. I was really hoping to get my hands on this beautiful colour. I'd seen so many pictures online and I couldn't decide, was it purple, was it pink? And I think it's like, how would I describe this? A mulberry, pinky purpley mulberry maroony colour. I hope that's helpful. Hopefully that's showing up as like an accurate representation of the colour on your screens. It's got the gold Disney Cruise Line logo, and then on the back's the beautiful gold Disney Wish lettering. Now they did not have this in the standard size that I always get, because I wear a UK size 10. I always get a size small Spirit jersey, and they only had extra small or medium, and I know I've got one medium Spirit jersey and it just feels way too big for me. So I got the extra small, and I'm now wondering, have I been buying the wrong size all this time? Because I kind of like the fit on this. It's still plenty baggy enough for me. And I'm now thinking I'm going to be buying Spirit jerseys in an extra small the whole time because I kind of love this fit. So lesson learned, 11 billion Spirit jerseys later, I now wear an extra small, not a small. Okay, let's get on to some of the freebie things that we had on board. As we embarked the Wish, we're welcomed on board. Welcome on board the Morgan family. It was absolutely fantastic. And we were all handed these Disney wishing wands. So these we used throughout the cruise. They started by getting the children, and as adults had the wishing wands too, to use their wands to light up in the middle of the, nearly said atrium, it's not called the atrium on the Wish, it's called the Grand Hall, it's called the atrium on all the other ships, but the chandelier in the middle of the Grand Hall, everyone went, wishes do come true, and lit it up. It was just so much fun. And then the wishing wands were used throughout other various performances and on the final night too. Once you get on board the Wish, if you are sailing, make sure your kiddos hang on to these, definitely throughout the first day and definitely on that very last wishing ever after performance as the kind of kiss goodnight to the cruise. Then as Silver Castaway Club members, we had gifts in our stateroom once again. So the Castaway Club is Disney's reward scheme for sailing more than once. You're a first time cruiser, you're not in the Castaway Club. By the time you disembark your first cruise, you're then in the Castaway Club. So you get all the benefits of being a silver member for booking future cruises. And then the more you cruise, the higher up the Castaway Club system you go. All of the details of the Castaway Club system can be found in the front of my magical cruise planner, including how you can book early, access online activities, do your online check-in and things like that, dependent on your Castaway Club tier. If, by the way, you need a planner to plan your Disney cruise, I'm just plugging my own planner here. Yes, I have a planner store and I've got Magical Trip and Magical Cruise planners in there, as well as activity books for your kiddos. In fact, at the time of filming, these are not yet released. My children did use them on the cruise. There's a few tweaks I want to make before releasing them, but by the time you see this video, these may well be released. So check out my planner store for the adult and the kids version of the planner if you're going on a Disney cruise. Anyway, back to the video. As a Castaway Club member, not only do you get certain perks about being able to book slightly earlier, but you get gifts in your stateroom, which make me so happy. So we were first time cruisers on the Magic, second time cruisers on the Dream, and we had lanyards and a bag, and they were themed to the 25th anniversary at sea. So I was really keen to see when we embarked this time. I knew we'd still have the Silver Castaway Club level of gift because we're still silver members. It'll be cruise number 6 before we move up to gold. And then as you go to the higher levels, you still get the silver levels, but then you get the gold levels as well, if that makes sense. And I was quite confused actually before our first Castaway Club cruise. Does everyone get a lanyard? Does this one person get a lanyard? So there's one set of gifts per stateroom, and that's dependent on the highest level person in the room. So if you've got 4 silvers and 1 gold in a room. The stateroom will get the gold level gifts, but you'll get 4 silver lanyards and 1 gold lanyard. So I hope that makes sense because I wasn't sure about that before we cruised to the Castaway Club members. Anyway, I was really keen to see, were the Castaway Club gifts going to be the same? Because I felt that the lanyards and the bags we had on the Dream were very specific to the 25th anniversary at sea, that kind of tealy colour palette. And as it happens, we had the same lanyards again. So they don't say 25th anniversary on them, but I just thought that, you know, this kind of bluey, tealy colour, it was very 25th anniversary at sea. So I don't know whether these are just the new lanyards now, or whether they're using up the stock of the 25th stuff before they move on. If anyone has any inside information as to that, I'd be really, really curious to hear it. With the tote bag on the Dream back in August of 2023, and again, I felt it was really 25th anniversary themed, because previously the bags were more like a shoulder rucksack, and I was wondering if they were going to go back to that, but we had this bag again, which, do you know what, I'm not going to be sad about that. It's a fab bag, and it's the kind of thing that you can never have too many of. You can use it for shopping and things. I did stick a name label. These name labels are fab. I'm covering that up because it's got my phone number on it. But I did stick a name label on it as soon as I had it, because obviously there were lots and lots of these around the ship and I didn't want to pick up the wrong one. Those name labels are great because they are, after 24 hours, machine washable and dishwasher safe. So you can stick them on things that get washed, things that go in the washing machine, like in care labels of clothes, and that way your things are labelled. So great for sending to school, but also great for trips and things if things are getting misplaced, or if your children buy 2 similar things and you want to identify whose is whose and avoid arguing. This bag is so large and lovely. It's got the Disney Cruise logo on the zip. I actually carried a Loungefly around the parks and the ship, and then I carried this as well because it's so good for slinging in my camera, slinging in everyone's pack-a-macs, all the things. It's got Castaway Club lettering on the inside and 1 internal pocket. But it really is a lovely big bag, really great for getting off at Castaway Key too. So we got just one of the bag, and then each of us had the lanyards. So we've now got 2 lanyards each, meaning we can use spare ones for things like our keys at home. So each of the 3 kids chose plushies on board the ship. Our eldest didn't come with us on this trip, he's in university. So Bella chose Captain Minnie. I'm guessing she chose Captain Minnie because she's been looking for Captain Minnie since the first cruise. There were no plushies at all on the Magic. The whole thing was stripped. On the Dream, I think they had Daisy and the Donald and the Goofy. Maybe they had the Pluto, but I don't think my kids bought those. They did not have Captain Mickey or Captain Minnie. There were no Captain Mickeys on this cruise in this format. They did have a captain that was a smaller one, and he was inside a squishy cruise ship, but the kids didn't want those. So Bella got Captain Minnie, and she's just lovely. I feel this is a good opportunity to talk about the difference in the shopping between the Magic, the Dream, and the Wish. So obviously the Magic was a COVID cruise. It was a really funny time where things couldn't be moved around the world as freely because of COVID restrictions. So we expected the merch on those sailings to be pretty limited. That was kind of no surprise. Now, I thought that the merch levels would be better on the Dream. However, I don't think even Disney Cruise Line were prepared for us Brits and how much us Brits love to stand in a queue, or a line as they call them in America. The queues, the lines on the Disney Dream when it was a ship full of Brits were insane, and I heard from several members of Disney Cruise Line cast that they were just shocked at how massive the queues were, especially to get into the shops to see the characters. And the British cast members were like, yeah, this is what Brits do. But it was a shock to Disney Cruise Line, so I'm not sure they were prepared for how much queuing there would be. There was a lot more queuing to get into the shops and things. The queues were starting really early. The other thing is, on the Dream, the shops felt stripped. So we got into the shop after the show on the first night. There were no Disney Dream Loungefly, none. Right the way through the Disney Wish cruise, they still had Disney Wish Loungefly. There were no Disney Dream Spirit jerseys left in smaller sizes after that first initial evening. So the shop had been open, what, half an hour to an hour by the time I got in there. No Spirit jerseys of that size. No 25th anniversary Spirit jerseys. The shops were really, really stripped of certain products. The shops did not feel so chaotic or so stripped on the Wish. I'm assuming this is for a number of reasons. First of all, it's going to be easier for them to pick up more product because they're at their home port, Port Canaveral, which I'm assuming they're going to have more warehouses, more access to product. Secondly, I feel like there wasn't the urgency, not just among the shops, but around the ship on the Wish. But if you think about the Disney cruises coming out of Southampton, there were only two 4-night cruises during the school holidays available. So they were shorter cruises, which maybe people felt weren't enough nights. There were some longer cruises, which obviously would have put the price up a lot more, but there were only 2 of these 4-night cruises. And I feel like that created this urgency. It's like it's now or never, so people needed to stock up and buy all the things and do all the things and fit it all in. The Wish goes out of Port Canaveral twice a week, every week. I feel like with the Wish in America, there's not that sense of it's now or never because it's there all the time. So maybe that's the difference, or maybe it's just us Brits love shopping and queuing. I don't know, but I have heard the reports that the ships in Australia were very, very busy and struggled with merch as well. Let me know if you've heard anything about that, or if you're on any of those cruises, saw vlogs of any of those cruises. I'd be interested to see. But I know the Wish was at full capacity when we sailed, and the Dream was at full capacity when we sailed, but the Wish didn't feel as chaotic or as busy, and the lines didn't feel as long. Just my little feedback on that, little tangent in the middle of our haul. Anyway, Zara chose a shipmate Dale as her plushie, and Will chose a pirate Stitch from Pirate Night. Following on from the Pirate Stitch theme, Will also had this Pirate Stitch t-shirt in the size extra large kids, very, very cute, and $21.99. Now, one of the girls' absolute favourite highlights from the whole trip, including Walt Disney World when asked, was the BTY Boby Boutique. I managed to get them both appointments. Will was booked on an excursion to go on with my husband instead of the BTY Boby Boutique, but that ended up getting cancelled while we were on the ship, so he just had the money instead. The BTY Boby Boutique is absolutely gorgeous. You walk in, there's all these princess dresses. You choose from a different package. So you can choose from the basic package where the kids get a t-shirt and some other bits and pieces that I'll show you in a second, or more expensive packages where you get all the dresses. Now my girls have got a lot of princess dresses, and I feel like I can get more princess dresses from Shop Disney here in the UK. It seems silly to get another princess dress when they already had quite a lot. They already had some with them, and I cannot get a BTY Boby Boutique t-shirt in the UK. So we ended up going for the t-shirt package, and I've got to say they were still thrilled. So they went in wearing their princess dresses, they tried on the t-shirts in the changing room, and then they changed back into their princess dresses for their makeovers. So for their makeovers, they chose from a menu of which hairstyle they wanted. They both chose hair extensions and flower hairbands. So I don't know where they've put their flower hairbands, but I have got their hair extensions here with me. So Zara chose this like blue and lilac one, which kind of needs a brush now, and Bella chose this pink one. They looked so adorable with these and their flower hair. They had all their hair slicked back, much neater than I can ever get it, with loads and loads of gel and glitter, and they loved every second of it. As technically this trip was part of the birthday present for the 3 little ones, so Bella's birthday was literally a few days before we left. Zara's birthday is in 3 days' time, and we got back a couple of days ago, and William's birthday is today at the time of filming. The girls had birthday princess sashes for the BTY Boby Boutique, which are really, really special, and they can put those on year after year. Each of them had their makeup done, and they got to keep the rest of the makeup palette. And they each had their nails painted, and they got to keep the rest of the bottle of polish, which is really, really cute. So everything I'm showing you now, they both had. So I might just be showing you one, but they had one each. The t-shirts are on hangers because they wore them home. They say, best day ever, BTY Boby Boutique. Zara had an extra small. They didn't have a small size, and she tried this on, it fit her great. I think they're quite big fitting t-shirts, and they're longer at the back than the front. They kind of go out in sort of a triangle V shape, and Bella went for a medium. So she wears larger t-shirts than this if she buys other stuff in Walt Disney World, but I do feel like these are on the larger size as t-shirts go. And then as well as the t-shirts, they had their BTY Boby bags, which are actually full of stuff from the trip back. They used these on the way back. They've got these gorgeous little Disney Cruise Line zip, the sparkly ears and the tiara. Zara's got her trip activity and cruise activity planners inside hers because she was doing those. As you can see, there are lots of activities for kids to do while traveling, so they were really handy for travelling back, to give them something to do. And the bag says BTY Boby Boutique on the strap. Now I've got to show you this on Bella's. These did not come with the bags, although I've got to say I think slap bands were bought in Walt Disney World. Yes, this was bought in Walt Disney World, and I forgot to show it in the Walt Disney World haul. So here's something from Walt Disney World. This is a slap band that Bella bought in Walt Disney World, and they use these slap bands on their bags like so. I can demonstrate with my ears to attach ears to bags like so. So when you're getting earache, much like I am now, actually, my ears are hurting me, you can attach them to your bag. So if you're walking around the ship, you're walking around the parks, you've got somewhere to put your ears so they're not hurting your head. The best way to do it is generally actually to put them over the bag that way so they don't interfere with your back, or you can put them between your body and your back that way. The other thing I want to show you is this Nuimo, which was not bought on the trip. But so many people are like, oh, where'd you get that cute thing to go on your bag? It is just attached with hair elastic. So can you see? There's a hair elastic round her arm that way, round the back of the Nuimo. So you just put the elastic around one side, thread it around the back of the bag, and then round her arm the other side. Squeeze her hands together and do the same with her legs. And that way you've got little pal to go around the ship or the parks with you. So the BTY Boby Boutique came up at just under $100 each. But they had quite a lot of stuff to take away with them, and the experience was so magical. Their fairy godmothers in training were just amazing with them. You'll have to watch the vlog if you've not seen it already, where the girls go to the BTY Boby Boutique. The whole experience was just so special, and when asked, both of them independently said, highlight of the trip, BTY Boby Boutique, all the way. Ooh, what's in here? Ah, now this we bought on Castaway Cay. This is a Castaway Key Christmas ornament of flip-flops, or thongs as they call them in Australia, don't they? When they say thongs in Australia, they mean these, not, you know, knickers. Anyway, this was $19.99. I thought it was a really special memento from our trip to Disney's private island. Another super special memento for me from Disney's private island. I got a Castaway Key spirit jersey that I had never seen before. So I'd seen the tie-dyed ones in orange and in tealy turquoise. I wasn't so fussed on the orange for me, it's just not a colour I tend to wear. I thought I'd be on the lookout for the tealy turquoise one, but look what I found. Now I did buy this in a small, not an extra small, because I hadn't really tried on this one an extra small yet and decided I preferred the smaller size, but never mind. It's got the Disney Cruise logo on the front, and on the back it's got Castaway Key. And I know it's spelt K, but they say it Key. I don't know why. My auntie was asking me yesterday, how come it's spelt K and said Key? And I think some people say K, but most people say Key. I don't know is the answer, but if anyone can fill me in on that, please sound off in the comments. And then it's got a map of Castaway Key on the back, on the bottom. So we've got the Bahamas, that's like the place it's in, Boat Beach, Snorkeling Lagoon, Pelican Plunge, Cookies Barbecue, which was the dining on there, and Serenity Bay, which we did not get to because it was adults only. But I'm kind of thrilled with that as a little, Castaway Key special memento, as well as my bag. And then I've only got one of these to hand, but both girls bought them. These are star necklaces from the film Wish. And if you turn them on, I believe they light up. I'm not sure that's going to show up on camera. Is that going to show up? Because there's already a light on in here. Is that lit up? Okay, so it may need batteries or something. They were lighting up on the ship. It's possible this needs new batteries, but this is a light up star necklace. It has got the safety clasp on there, and the girls wore them on pirate night. They wore them most of the cruise actually after they bought them, and as they are big fans of the film Wish. Also here in my bag I have got some Dead Men Tell No Tales coins that were on our towel animal at pirate night. Now one thing I thought was really interesting, and a little bit of a shame, I guess. On the Dream, we had the headscarves, the Pirate Night headscarves, left in our staterooms ahead of Pirate Night. So for anyone that hadn't packed a costume, they could just put on one of the headscarves or wrap it on their wrist or whatever and join in with the pirate theming a little. They didn't have the headscarves left in our room on the Wish, so I don't know if nobody had them, or thinking about it, I didn't see them on anyone else. So I don't think they were giving them out. So if anyone knows, you know, if you're a cast member or friends with cast members and you know the answer to why they're not giving those out on the Wish, have they stopped giving them out across the fleet? Was it something specific for the Dream? Did they think none of the Brits would have costumes and they wanted to give them something? I don't know. I would love to know why they gave them out on the Dream and not the Wish. Have you been on a cruise since August and did you get a headscarf? That's what I want to know. Did you get a Pirate Night scarf? Also, as an interesting note on Pirate Night, I felt like a lot more people were dressed up on the UK sailings. Most of the ship were wearing something piratey on the UK sailings, whereas I'd say on the Wish it was kind of more 50-50. Also, the cast members, and obviously this isn't down to the individual cast members because they wear the kind of the uniforms, the costumes they're told to wear, but the Pirate Night on the Dream, all of the cast were dressed as pirates. They went all out. Whereas Pirate Night on the Wish, they were wearing the normal uniform that matched on to the restaurant where we were dining, plus like a little piratey badge. So it was lovely. And it didn't bother me that they were or weren't dressed up. I just found it interesting that there was a difference. And I didn't know why that difference would be. So again, if you know the answer to that, please do let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. And then some more pin badges. I can't remember who chose which. I think Bella chose Minnie and the Wish, and Zara chose Mickey and Minnie and the Aqua Mouse. The Aqua Mouse was so much fun. It's the world's first attraction at sea. So it's similar to the Aqua Duck that we did on the Dream, but I feel like the Aqua Duck was more like a big tour of the ship, a lot more kind of seeing the outside. The Aqua Mouse, you get dragged up a sort of a dark tunnel and you see lots of screens, very similar to the Mickey and Minnie cartoons or the kind of animation in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Walt Disney World. It's so fun, and then you kind of get launched into the slide portion. It's less tour of a ship, less looking outside, and maybe I felt like it was a little bit shorter. Totally different experience, but such a fun attraction. And at sea too, how much fun. And then Will actually didn't choose a badge on the ship. He did choose this one in the airport on the way home at the Magic of Disney. And it says Black Spire Outpost, and it's an opening edition badge. I don't know what a Black Spire Outpost is, but clearly William does, and he was pleased with it. And I also got yet another tin of the sweets, which are really yummy, but mostly I wanted them for the tin. If you look inside, the mints are actually shaped as Disney characters. William bought this water bottle, which is absolutely gorgeous, on the Wish. It's $39.99, but it is in conjunction with the Make-A-Wish charity. It's actually like like a quiet, you know, like a normal metal thing would be like loud. It's got like a soft, not a soft close, a soft, I don't know, soft put down base. What's it called? A soft, anyway, it doesn't make a banging noise because it's got a soft bottom. It's got a screw top to drink from, which he quite likes, and a handle, which would be handy for hanging on things. And it has got the gorgeous Disney Wish design on it with Captain Minnie. Oh no, wait, it's Captain Mickey. Hang on. Minnie is the captain of the ship. How come Mickey gets to be on the bottle? I'm a little confused. And then the kids had to have popcorn buckets. Popcorn buckets I feel like a really good deal on the Disney Cruise Line. The popcorn buckets were $8.50 each, and the refills are just $1.50. My kids love the popcorn on the ship, and they especially love coming home with a little memento of the ship. They love having candied popcorn on Main Street, so we like making up candied popcorn for them to have a movie afternoon on a dreary UK day so that they can have a little bit of Disney back at home. So the kids had one of these popcorn buckets each. They're so special. They're Disney's Cruise Line specific. So we've got Rapunzel, who is on the front of the Wish. We've got Goofy, Dumbo, and Donald. And you can see they're each with their corresponding ships. So you've got Rapunzel from the Dream, Goofy from the Magic, Mickey just leading the fleet, Dumbo from the Fantasy, and Donald and his nephews on the Wonder. My daughter Bella, who's just turned 9, taught me something I did not know while on board the ship. And we chose these, by the way, because I could stack them inside each other to bring home. Cool. They had some other really cool popcorn buckets on the ship, a big Mickey head. They had a really cool Simba one, but I was just really struggling for case space, so these were winners. Anyway, Bella showed me this. You ready for this? How did I not know this was the case? The hook to hook it on the side of your popcorn bucket so you don't have to hold it. I did not know that until my 9-year-old showed me on this trip. Yes, my 9-year-old is much brighter than I am. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you knew this all along because it was the most obvious thing on the planet, or it's just blown your mind too. I've got to say, one of my happiest images that will be forever burned into my memory on the ship is a cast member saying, "Oh, your kids are being raised Disney kids." And I thought, oh yes, they really are. And I just think of Bella skipping through the ship, holding a cruise line popcorn bucket in one hand and her Disney resort mug in the other hand. And if you want to see everything we bought in Walt Disney World, click on the haul video on screen now, or click on the playlist to watch the entire Florida trip from start to finish. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do those YouTubey things, and check out my Patreon for early release content. See you guys real soon. Bye.